Good morning, everyone. It's September 2018. 3 phases of surveillance to totalitarianism is happening now. This comes from an individual named Jeremiah Johnson, who is a retired Green Beret. I'm not going to hit the whole article, but I am going to hit the 3 points he makes. Here's the 3 phases. Again, the 3 phases of surveillance to totalitarianism. Okay? Before we get to the 3, China. China is the model of the type of government the New World Order Zionists wish to erect. A one-world government with the same mentality as that of the Chinese. So, if they were to get their way, and there was one global government, the entire world would be treated just as I'm about to describe. China's social credit system, which is expected to be fully operational by 2020, doesn't just monitor the nation's almost 1.4 billion citizens, it's also designed to control and coerce them in a gigantic social engineering experiment that some have called the gamification of trust, assigning an individual trust score to each and every citizen, and to businesses too. According to China's Communist Party, the system will allow the trustworthy to roam freely under heaven while making it hard for the discredited to take a single step. To pull this off, the unprecedented scheme will harness the immense reach of China's technological infrastructure, some 200 million CCTV cameras. Okay? And the idea is that there's these watchful eyes that will look over everybody, and facial recognition systems will help them pick out those undesirables, the discredited. So, here's the 3 phases. Inception and initial emplacement. Number 1. The new measure is put into place, eventually becoming widespread and taking root. CCTV cameras started out as a simple video camera in the convenience store, liquor store, bank, and parking lots of workplaces. Now they sprout up in the intersections, the shopping malls, the cafes, the bus terminals, and so on. That is the beginning of the very same surveillance system that China has in place. Number 2, fostered dependence and regulation. The ever-present boogeyman in our society is the invisible malcontent labeled as a terrorist, and this creates the need for more security and greater surveillance. The sacred goal to keep everyone safe is a bold-faced lie. The paradigm shift and the senses of the populace are dulled. I'm trying to find where these parentheses end here. Oh, yeah. Okay. The senses of the population are dulled to not even pay the increased surveillance any mind. Over the past 2 decades, the corporations, the government, state, local, federal, and the moneyed interest, oligarchs and politicians, have quietly inoculated a cross-linked and cross-functioning surveillance net or network, all cameras accessible and tied into the information systems of the authorities. authorities, those who are backed by the state and enforce the state's edicts with firearms. Bioscanning, facial recognition, complete body scanners, and fingerprint recognition are now just a matter of fact in airports. Just 5 years ago, the mobs were ready to storm the TSA with torches and pitchforks to affront at having their bodies exposed. Blah, blah. And of course, this outrage has slowly been sucked away from the public. You know, the Alex Joneses and the Paul Joseph Watsons and all of them. This is something that they hardly talk about anymore. But it needs to be. The torches burned out and the pitchforks are back in the garden sheds. That's about the gist of it right there. And number 3, total surveillance, control, and beyond. We've not reached this phase yet in the United States, and I stress yet. But we're well on the way. Look to China. China is the model, the template, the guinea pig for the totalitarian roadmap of one world government. In reality, a world of slavery. Kissinger, Gates, Soros, and a plethora of other communist or others all laud communist China as the blueprint for the world state. Remember, Gates has scheduled with his teams of investors to place 500 satellites in orbit to map the entire globe in real time by late spring of next year. So, and the sad part is the American people will just keep marching forward blindly into the mouth of further institutional, governmental totalitarianism. I mean, we already live in a totalitarian system. Now, with all the technology, it's going to be more and more like a giant open-air prison. Hope you all have a good day. Remember, kill the state before this happens to you.